Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on this next episode of Weathering the Market. I'm meteorologist Kailey Carey.
I'm meteorologist Dion DeLeo.
And today we're talking about one of my favorite things, hurricanes.
That's right. I got my favorite topic last week, so now we get to get one for Kailey.
I know, but sometimes I feel like I say my favorite topic before we start every podcast. I was like, my favorite thing.
I think it kind of comes with the job, really, to be honest.
I love it all. But okay, let's break into the 2021 hurricane season. What are we thinking? Above normal, average, below normal? What are you thinking, Dion?
I'm thinking above average.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to say $1 to that. So, no, I think that I agree with you. It will be above average, but not quite as active as last year. And now let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, and you tell us why.
Sure thing. So, all right, there are a few factors that go into calculating these predictions. They are the Atlantic Multidecadal Oscillation, or AMO, as I'm sure you'll hear, and the Atlantic Thermohaline Circulation, and as well as the ENSO phase, which, hopefully you're not too tired of hearing about just yet. So the AMO is a mode of variability that occurs in the North Atlantic Ocean. It's defined by a fluctuation of sea surface temperatures and sea level pressure. Typically, it has to do with where we see kind of pressure you see set up in the Northern Atlantic, which in turn can greatly affect the pressure on the North Atlantic has on the Atlantic gyre. And so because of that, we're able to get an idea as to what exactly is going to be happening in the Atlantic as we move forward into the latter part of this year.
So say all of those things 3 times fast. So basically we're looking at a lot of things, but the main driver in all of this is ENSO. We are in a second year La Nina. It is a lot weaker though, and we are expecting this to kind of transition to more of a neutral phase. Do you agree with that?
That's right. The latest numbers that we've been looking at right now are indicating about a 65% chance of a transition to a neutral phase for the summer. And then beyond that, we're kind of seeing a little bit of back and forth. Are we going to see a little bit more of us remaining neutral? Or are we going to see kind of more shifting back towards a weak La Nina?
And this is where we get into what Dion was talking about, the AMO. So when the AMO is strong, and you mix a strong AMO with no El Nino, that is where you get your highest ACE index. What is ACE index? It's accumulated cyclone energy. So the higher that number is, the greater our number of hurricanes are anticipated to be. So if the AMO is above average and no El Nino occurs, we're looking at possibly an ACE index near 130. What does that mean? That means not quite as active as last year, but a little bit below. But if the AMO is below average and boom, 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 El Nino comes back, which it could. There's only a 10% chance, though, that it does. The ACE index will be closer to a number of 50, meaning below active hurricane season.
So with the La Nina phases, obviously they're more favorable for tropical cyclones as upper level winds weaken across the tropics. So it's a very big part in determining this value, which kind of gives us an idea as to what to expect for this year's hurricane season.
You know what else comes into play, which I don't think people know this?
Is this where we talk about salinity?
This is salinity.
This is
Yes, this is salinity, which is crazy. So if the salinity of the water is high enough, then the water starts to sink in higher latitudes, and this kind of weakens the system, and that allows for more favorable conditions for tropical cyclone development. So the saltier the water, the more hurricanes we see.
That's right. Yeah. So our
mind blowing.
Definitely mind blowing.
I know. So, but inversely, if we see less salinity, then fewer tropical storms. So, $1 million question: what are we looking at currently? And you call it now. How many hurricanes are going to hit North America?
How many are actually going to hit North America?
Yep. How many actually hit? Not fish storms, but we're talking.
No. I think I'm gonna have to say somewhere along the lines of actually impact the United States. I'm gonna have to probably say 8 to 9, maybe.
Ooh, a decrease. Earlier, like a couple meetings ago, Dion said 11.
Well, yeah. So I said 11. I said 11.
That's okay, because whatever you say, I'm going to say $1. Because this is like the Price is Right. So
Yeah.
if you overbid, you don't win. But if you underbid, you're going to be right. So, but I agree with you, because I feel like the last La Nina numbers that came in.
Yeah.
They're a
And
little
that's
bit.
kind of it's the update that we've had since that meeting. But all in all, I guess the big takeaway here is we have to keep a close eye on the ENSO phase and kind of see where it heads up. There are lots of agencies that also are looking forward towards this hurricane, especially after how active last season was. And so, we'll start to see more and more forecasts come out over the coming months.
Yes, okay, but we almost forgot to mention, did you see that storm off of North Carolina like a few days ago?
Actually, I didn't. I've actually been wrapped up in the severe weather outbreaks. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, because that is your favorite topic. But let's circle back to last season. So I feel like if this same storm, because there's a circulation center and everything, but hurricane season, it has not begun yet. But if this storm were to form a couple months later or at the end of last season, I feel like it would have been named. Because last year everyone was like, man, this is crazy, the amount of storms that we're seeing. So we just started naming everything. And I do think they're going to kind of have that approach this year as well.
I should hope so. I mean, well, I don't know. There was a couple of times in which some of these storms got, I don't know if they really needed a name or not.
Everyone deserves a name.
Yeah. I mean, we did have a named storm. I think it was it was like the middle of April last year. I think we had a named storm already. We hit our A name, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not uncommon. And as a result, which is why I don't, some of our listeners may be aware, the Hurricane Center has decided they're going to start issuing the Atlantic outlooks, the daily outlooks, beginning in I think they said mid-May, I think, so a few weeks earlier than normal. They're going to start issuing these Atlantic daily outlooks, these 2 and 5 day outlooks for tropical cyclone development.
Last interesting thing about hurricanes, and I promise we'll let you go, guys, but have you noticed there's a correlation? It's a weak correlation, but it's there between second-year La Niñas that the storms tend to hit slightly further east.
Actually, I have noticed this. We had a good conversation about this, I think, a week or two ago. As such, things kind of shift a little bit more eastward in the second La Niña season.
Mm-hmm. So watch out, East Coast.
Yeah.
They're coming for you.
If you're on the East Coast, could be a little more active for you guys.
Did y'all see that they're not using Greek letters for storms anymore?
No.
Yeah, they stopped. They said they were going to stop using Greek letters.
See, Emily should have been in this one.
Hi guys, it's Emily. I'm back in this one. I was just sitting here the whole time. No, but apparently the 2021 hurricane season will not be using Greek letters for hurricane storms. Or for storms, I guess, in general.
What are they going with?
Apparently there's a list. It's saying forecasters this year will have a supplemental list of hurricane names from Adria to Will, just in case this year. I don't know, something like that.
I think what they said they're going to do is instead of Greek letters, they're going to be using, they have like supplemental names that come back in. So it'll start back over with A name, B name, etc.
Gotcha. Kind of how if you have 6 kids, by the 6th kid, you're just on to your second round of names.
It's whatever. You just kind of go back in the list.
Exactly. Go back to the list. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. If you have any questions, we would love to hear from you here at Minuteman Weather. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Weathering the Market. We love sharing all this information with you guys, and if you didn't already know, we work for a company called Minuteman Weather, which provides a full range of energy and agricultural weather services. If you would like to sign up for a free trial or request more information, check us out at minutemanweather.com. We'll be back next Wednesday. Thanks.